Transitioning in 5, 4. We're live.
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live. It is currently 9:03 a.m. and it is 57 degrees outside with a high of 82. So it's going to get a little warm today. So we're in that awkward time of the year where it's pretty chilly in the morning, like hoodie and jacket weather, and then by the time the afternoon rolls around, it's like scorched earth hot, and then by the time the evening rolls around, it's getting pretty chilly again or fall weather-ish. So just keep that in mind. So I guess light jacket weather would be the way to go about it. Wear long pants, or you can probably get away with shorts occasionally, but definitely wear a jacket in the morning and then be ready to shed it in the afternoon because holy cow. But yeah, so that awkward time of year in Oklahoma where it's freezing cold in the morning and then super hot in the afternoon. With that being said, catching back up on events last week. So Friday, Owasso played Edmond North and they beat them 54-30. So way to go, Rams! Looks like they took charge of that game and just dominated them. So that's awesome. And then we had Rejoice play Adair and they lost. It was a nail biter. It was 20. So they lost 24-28. Is what happened there. So dang, just by the skin of their teeth, they lost that game. So, like I said, better luck next time, Rejoice. Like I said, stay strong and keep it up. That's definitely nothing to be ashamed about there. So, and then Friday, of course, in college football, the Cowboys played K-State. Now, they looked strong in the game, but I mean, K-State kind of worked their way back in at the very end. So, I mean, the ending of it was 29-21, Oklahoma State. So, I mean, good for the Cowboys coming back strong after that loss to Iowa State. But, and then you have Saturday in college football wise, you had TU, and they lost to Florida Atlantic, which is a shame. But, like I said, again, kind of like the Rejoice thing, it was a nail biter. I mean, TU lost 17-20. I mean, a field goal would have tied it up, and stuff. So it sucks for TU, but like I said, that's not a bad loss there. So it was a tough conference game. So hang tough, boys.
Absolutely.
Keep rolling strong. Rain Cane. And then you got, of course, can't forget about the Red River rivalry. Talk about a nail biter of a game the entire time. Like, I mean, they threw all the tricks out early, doing all their, running it on punting, and then when
they pretty much ran every single punt. Like I said, there was no
every
fourth down where they punted.
Every fourth down, Texas went for it basically,
Mhm.
so I mean, it was a nail biter the entire time, and I mean, they were almost 100% on their fourth down conversions.
They pretty much were. I think they only had like one or two
Yeah.
that were not completely successful.
Yeah, I was watching the game with my dad, and I was just like, it's going to come down to who has the ball last. Whoever has the ball last is going to win this game, and that's exactly what happened. The Sooners got
Not technically true. They had it with like 15 seconds. Texas had it with 15 seconds left, but was barely
with no
anything.
timeouts. Yeah,
No timeouts, nothing that they could do.
They were just launching Hail Marys. So
exactly.
But yeah, that's what I told him. I said, whoever has this ball last is going to win this game, and that's basically what happened, minus obviously the 15 seconds Texas had to try to get it in the end zone. And Hail Mary's 50-50. You're just tossing it up and praying to God your guy comes down with it, not the other guys. And, OU batted that thing down to the ground as quick as they could.
Mm-hmm.
So that was it was a very good competitive game. Was not a boring watch. Neither team dominated. So anybody who's like, yeah, we're the best, it's like, no, I mean, that game could have gone either way. It was great football.
Yeah,
it was
you
great
look
football.
at the stats from the game, Texas had way more like yards like in the game period, but OU had all those turnovers from the defense, which definitely helped them in the long run. But
yes, yeah, they held them a couple of times, and that's what made the game. That's what saved them. Defense saved OU this time, and there was no real total domination on either team. Texas made more mistakes. And like I said, those mistakes cost them. They had more penalties. They had more turnovers. So
and just from watching the game, I would say Texas had the stronger run game. Like I said, OU could barely stop the run game. That running back of theirs was just ripping it through their defense. Yeah. And like I said, but OU had the better throwing game, of course, because like I said, they had 0 turnovers, or interceptions, I mean. But And crazy to think about that. Like I said, when it comes to the game, just how they each team was dominating in one aspect, but not exactly both.
Absolutely, yeah. I'll just tell you this: that game was like last year was not like nobody wanted to watch that game last year. Like I mean, I guarantee the Texas people were like, "Well, this right here, this game right here is the reason people watch college football. It's the reason the Red River rivalry is so beloved because it was a nail biter all the way up until the finish. It was an enjoyable watch. Wasn't a lot of, I mean, they were chippy, but like I said, no ridiculous crazy penalties. It was just a good old-fashioned fun game of football, and it was an enjoyable watch. I had a great time watching it, and it was a good game, period. Other than the technical difficulties with the, I don't know what if it was the broadcast company, if they had a frayed wire in one of their cameras or whatever, but they had a lot of technical issues with the game when it was, being aired and broadcast. Yeah, it was not. You just sit there and it's like the game would just kind of cut out for a second. You're like, what is going on right now? I mean, that's how you piss off people right there. Is not when technology doesn't work, people get mad, and of course it would happen in one of the biggest games of the year.
Oh yeah.
So I'm sure ABC or whoever their affiliates were that were dealing with all those issues were not happy campers either. I'm sure, but like you said, the Red River rivalry. Wow. Fun game of football to watch. It was the reason you watch college football. It was a very enjoyable game. And congrats to the Sooners for coming out on top of that. So now they're the number one team in the Big 12.
Absolutely.
So undisputedly now. So, I mean, I know a lot of Sooners are like, oh, they have OU stays. And that's what I said. OU really hadn't played anybody. But they finally played Texas, and they came out on top. So good for them. Now they're the best in the Big 12. Hopefully they can keep that momentum up. Same with Texas when they go to the SEC because it's going to be like Alabama every week in the SEC. You're going to be playing Ole Miss. You're going to be playing Georgia. You're going to be playing Florida State. You're going to be playing Florida.
Auburn.
You're going to be playing Tennessee, Auburn. Mm-hmm. It's, we want to say the Big 12 is really competitive, and it's not a slug league. I mean, all these teams come up and surprise you, but the problem with a lot of our teams here in the Big 12 is we're just not consistent. Like, it's like, oh, TCU's the team this year. It's like, when did that happen? It's like Baylor's the team this year. Oh, okay. But they're never consistently the team every year. The only team that's consistently at the top, and at least in the Big 12, is OU. And then it's up to in the air about who's the next team. Sometimes it's OSU is the second best, and then sometimes it's
Texas.
It's either Baylor. No, Texas has not been relevant for a long time. You and I both know that.
Yeah, that's
Texas. This Texas team that played Alabama is a team that we'll be interested to be following. But, I mean, Texas overall has been
in a rebuilding phase.
Yes, they've been in a rebuilding phase since they lost Colt McCoy, of all people.
That's true.
I mean, Texas hasn't been relevant for a very long time. They got lucky that one year in the Red River rivalry when Baker Mayfield was there when they won. And it was just, a shocking thing. I don't know how they pulled it off, but they just did. I guess OU was just playing terrible that game because that was kind of one of those seasons where it was like OU's going to be unstoppable.
Yep.
But it's like what our buddy at the car dealership is like, OU will lose to an unranked team or a team that they're not supposed to lose to every season. And Texas was that team that year at the Red River rivalry. And the year before that, they almost lost to Army, but then they ended up losing to Iowa State.
Yep.
That's why I said, you can't ever sleep on Iowa State like, the Cowboys did. Iowa State had that one upset that kept the Cowboys out of the playoff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So either way, we're kind of rambling now, but yeah, so what a wonderful game. Red River rivalry was, so congrats to the Sooners. It was a good game. So local events coming up here in Owasso. We got, sorry about that, folks. We got, the Owasso Character Council annual lunch. So if you want to go to the Owasso Council of Character annual lunch, it will be 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., and that's at the Tulsa Tech facility campus here in Owasso.
What day is that again?
That's Wednesday. So Wednesday, October 11th. So go over there, and that's across the expressway from Rejoice.
Yep, the TCC
right across the street, the TCC campus. And then Saturday, as always, you're going to have that Red Harvest Actually, no, this is actually a different thing. It's not just the Redbud. It's actually it's the Owasso Harvest Festival from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. So I believe that will be in the Redbud District, and that is, again, Saturday, October 14th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. So if you're not interested in watching college football next weekend, go ahead and go out and check out the Harvest Festival here in Owasso. So that could be a good time for you if you're not a college football buff. So, again, that's what's going on here in Owasso this week. This is Chad and Corey with Owasso Live, and we are signing off. I hope you all have a blessed day.